Hi, everybody. Debby continues to be a dangerous storm over Georgia and the Carolinas with tornado risks and catastrophic flooding. Hi, everybody. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Justice, keeping you up to date on all things Debby and the tropics during this severe weather season. If you don't already, please subscribe to this channel right now, as I will keep you up to date on all things. Debby strengthens for a second landfall. That's the headline. Tonight into tomorrow, this system's getting back out over warm water where it's going to begin to strengthen a bit, and that's going to allow this to be able to get a little bit more of a punch as it makes its final approach back into South Carolina between Charleston and Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach could get some significant flooding rain along with a tornado risk. Let's show you what's happening right now. As you can see, this system is expansive. Clouds extending all the way to Atlanta. Cooler, breezy, and at times rainy across the western Carolinas and Georgia, but toward the coast, a much different story. Let's show you where this system is heading in the very latest track that's just into us. And oh, by the way, there's another area that we are monitoring here as we go deeper into the future, a 30% chance of another system set to move over very warm water in the coming days. If you can, let me know in the comment section where you're watching from. My philosophy is always to give you the information like I see it, kind of a no-nonsense approach so that you know how to prepare so you and your family can stay safe. So if you don't already subscribe to this channel right here, please do so. I would really appreciate that. Let's show you where this is heading. Good agreement in the models. It going back out into the water tonight. You see it's back out over the warm waters of the Gulf Stream just offshore of the Carolinas. Those water temperatures are warm, mid-80s, upper 80s. As it goes back out over water, it goes from a 40-mile-per-hour tropical storm to a 50 to a 60-mile-per-hour. Approaching Category 1 status, I think it may stay just below that, but don't get caught up in the name of what it is or what it is not. The impacts are going to be the same, with significant rain being the threat and inland flooding. Some areas have already had 8 to 12 inches of rain, and it's been 24 hours of rain. There are 3 more days worth of rain in some of these same areas, okay? So this meanders off the coast through tomorrow, where it then goes back inland for another landfall in the United States between Charleston and Myrtle Beach. Those winds could be close to tropical storm to low-end Category 1 hurricane status. But again, it's bringing in the rain again with this. This through Thursday. By Friday, it's riding east of the I-77 corridor and then on its way up the coast. Now, keep this in mind, just a little side note to help you plan for your weekends. That you have a counterclockwise flow around low pressures and tropical systems. So as this moves up the coast, northerly winds are going to get pulled down in here from Canada into the United States. Very pleasant air on the backside of this. Dare I say cool? It's probably not cool, but for August standards, lows in the 60s, highs around 80, it's going to feel pretty nice toward the end of the week. So, hey, there's something to look forward to. But right now, we have a dangerous system. Folks, I can't stress the flooding threat with this enough. When you get too much rain, it brings those creeks and streams up. And that's the problem in these type situations, is people may think, I got some big tires, or I got a big truck. You know, I'm guilty of thinking that I've got to go here. You know, you think you can just go through it. Don't, folks. You don't know if the bridge is washed out. There are a number of things that could go wrong there. And then not only are you putting yourself and your family in harm's way, you're putting other first responders in harm's way. And by the way, my prayers, my thanks, my gratitude go out to all the first responders right now. And that includes nurses, doctors, fire officials, EMS, police. And then you've got the power crews just trying to keep things going so that, everybody can do their thing, okay? So please, this has already been a deadly storm in Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas. Let's do our best to keep that from getting worse, folks. A dangerous storm. Curves back out to sea. You see that little notch? That allows it to get a little bit stronger on that final approach north of Charleston through Georgetown into Horry County. Again, Horry County, Myrtle Beach, going to be on that right rough side of it. The western Carolinas, Greenville to Charlotte to Atlanta, remaining on the gentler west side of things. As far as strength is concerned, you see it scooting back up to a high-end tropical storm. Then it crashes as it moves inland and then moves out toward the north over land. So what does that look like? Let's map out the brand new high-resolution computer model. What has been steady rain for Savannah and Brunswick's about to get a little bit more scattered. Charleston, you're still just in the deluge of just the fire hose of water coming on in, bringing those totals to 15, 16, 17 inches today. even topping 20 inches in some places. Then it's back out over water later tonight. fully over water. A new eye wall may form here, or at least a center of circulation that's more well defined. Into Wednesday through tomorrow, it's going back out over the water. Tomorrow night into Thursday morning, probably Thursday morning, it's moving back inland. And again, that worst right quadrant of the heaviest rain is over Myrtle Beach, stretching into now Wilmington. This would be through the day Wednesday. So backing it up here. So this is all day Wednesday. The worst of it certainly well east of here. Thursday is the first day of school for many in the Western Carolinas and really just Carolinas in general. There will be some rain, especially Spartanburg, Gaffney, toward Lawrence, east to Columbia and Charlotte. Very heavy rainfall in those locations, but notice it's a harsh cutoff. There'll be some showers whipping around that backside, but right now the high-res models are saying it stays more to the east. Now Thursday into Friday, this thing's pulling up toward North Carolina and beginning to pull away. So I think Thursday afternoon, it's leaving the Western Carolinas. Things are getting better in Charleston. Things are getting better in Myrtle Beach. And then Friday, it's fully over North Carolina into Virginia. So how about the river levels right now? You see in purple, that's major flood status. Let's get into some of this. As you can see, the Ogeechee, 16 feet. It's gone up by 6 feet right there. You go into Charleston, Cooper River, it's rising. It's at a minor flood stage of 7.3 right now. You go inland, Edisto River, peaking at about 15 feet. When this storm started, it was sitting at around 6 feet. So it rose some 10 feet right here. You're 3 feet away from a record right there. I mean, how about that? Let's go up here toward Springmaid Pier. Of course, we know that is an area that can get some inland flooding. Forecast to get about 6 feet in the ebbs and flows with the tides. But let's go inland a little bit. Flooding inland is always a concern. And in this case, as I scoot this map over, you can see so what started at about 8 feet is now peaking at about 14 feet. So what we're seeing here is a river rivers that are trying to peak, and it's only going to get worse. Okay, let me map this back out and tell you where it comes. So these are additional rainfall totals. Now you have to know Charleston, Savannah, Brunswick, Statesboro, Beaufort, up through Hilton Head, Charleston, and then up through Myrtle Beach have already had 5, 6 plus of 10 inches in so many locations. This will be additional rain, all right? I mean, folks, we're talking 13 more inches of rain on top of what you've already had. That puts many areas at that 20-inch mark. This model is showing an average of all the models, which does paint 1 to 2 inches in Greenville and Spartanburg and Greenwood, about a half an inch in Atlanta, more like 4 inches in Charlotte. But this is a little more aggressive with the west extent of that eye wall. And hey, we may get some of those bigger bands to move through Thursday night into Friday in the upstate of South Carolina. But the majority of this heavy rain is going to remain from Charleston to Georgetown to Myrtle Beach up through Wilmington, where over a foot of additional rain will be possible. Oh boy, it's going to be breezy. I mean, staying breezy through today in Greenville, Spartanburg, Atlanta, Columbia, 30, 35 miles per hour, kind of a cloudy fall-like day. But look how this system tightens up tonight. It's back out over water, 60 plus mile per hour gusts. Then it makes a landfall late Wednesday into Thursday. Some of those higher winds up through North Myrtle into the North Carolina side of the beaches, up through Wrightsville, Wilmington. Then it's inland. Some of those more spicy gusts could get into Charlotte and Columbia, 50, 56 miles per hour. Then it's scooting up toward Raleigh Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening, and then it's settling there as it pulls away from the Carolinas. How about severe risks? Yeah, we do have some degree of tornadoes. There were a couple of confirmed tornadoes near Sullivan's Island last night. I was tracking it on the news at 11 o'clock, and I got to tell you, folks, a confirmed tornado was on the ground. Folks had eyes on it, and that was the concern. Is this thing really packed a punch through a good bit of yesterday evening. The severe threat, including tornadoes, is possible yet here again in these areas of the Grand Strand up through Wilmington. All right, how about the additional threat for more development? Watching an area toward the Caribbean, it does look like we may possibly have another named system here. It looks like it's a lowrider, Central America, over the Yucatan into the Bay of Campeche. Now, once it's over the Bay of Campeche, everybody kind of holds their breath a little bit, making sure it doesn't curve back, but the trend this year, at least, has been for it to continue west. And another little critter tries to crop up toward the end of next week. We don't see much developing out of that the way the steering currents are. And looks like we can take a little bit of a break. And maybe, just maybe, the Saharan dust will begin to pick back up and allow things to be calmer for a while. Seems like we've gone in these big upswings with tropical weather, and then it kind of settles down a little bit. So once we get back into this mechanism of seeing a downswing, we can kind of take our breath. Again, can't stress it enough. My prayers are with the first responders, anybody in the path of this storm. If I can help you in any way, please message me. Let me know what you're seeing. This is a two-way conversation, folks. Yet another platform in addition to TV that we can reach you and help give you some idea of the forecast. I love what I do as a meteorologist. If you don't already, subscribe to this channel right here. We will keep you posted through the storm. And hey, let me know what you need. Let me know where you're watching from right now, and we'll do the best that we can. But my prayers are with everyone in the path of this storm. My prayers are with the first responders that have to be out in this storm no matter what. And on top of that, I always like to say this, an extra prayer for those of you at home holding down the fort with a family while your husband or wife are out there on the front lines, getting the power back on, going to the hospital to work because your shift starts. You're the heroes in this, and we thank you for all that you do. All right, folks, stay safe this week. I will keep you posted around the clock. Let me know what you're seeing, and we'll keep this conversation going, okay?